Stadium for FC Tokyo versus Nagoya Grampus in the quarterfinals of the Levain Cup. The Levain Cup in Japan is the equivalent of the League Cup in England. It's not so popular here because before this quarterfinal stage, it takes quite a long time to get here. In a normal season, there will be a group stage with 4 teams who have to play each other twice. The best teams go through. The teams that aren't quite good enough go to a playoff. The teams who get through the playoff then also come to the quarterfinals. And in addition, teams that qualified for the Asian Champions League join at the group stage. And FC Tokyo this season are one of those teams. Last season they finished second in J1, so they joined this year's Levain Cup at the quarterfinal stage. So yeah, very convoluted tournament, not so popular with a lot of fans. I did quite like it, the tournament. It was kind of my introduction into Japanese football because the games often happen midweek, like tonight is the Wednesday night. So for my schedule is perfect, and often in a group stage, teams play younger players, they play reserve players. So I think it's quite a good chance to see kind of fringe players for squads. So yeah, I think it's really interesting. And of course, if you think back to last season, the final was an absolute cracker, no pun intended. The sponsor of this competition, Levain, is a Yamazaki company that makes biscuits. So Levain is a biscuit brand. Basically, it's the Biscuit Cup. But yeah, last year's final, absolutely amazing. Consadole Sapporo versus Kawasaki Frontale. I'll put a link to the video so you can see what happened in that match. But it was absolutely fantastic. So it does produce good games sometimes. Tonight, from what I could see earlier, FC Tokyo have put out a pretty strong lineup for this game. So yeah, it really should be quite a good one. Nagoya also having a fairly good season. Both of these two teams are doing really well this year in J1. So yeah, it should be a really good match, I think. And of course, we're still in coronavirus times, so masks again are compulsory. Attendance is capped at 5,000, but as you can see, this stadium is absolutely huge. I think 56,000 can fit inside, so tonight there'll be 5,000 in here. So I'll be really interested to see what the atmosphere is like, to see whether or not they play crowd noise to try to make up for the fact that it's going to be mostly empty. So yeah, it's going to be really good to see, I think. It'll be fascinating. But yeah, prediction-wise, I'm going to say FC Tokyo for this one 2-0. So yeah, let's see if that comes true. Most likely not, because my predictions are mostly terrible. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's good. This is actually the first time I've watched FC Tokyo at this stadium. It's also the home of Tokyo Verdy, who I came to watch last year here, and who I'm actually going to come and watch this coming weekend. So as for the football landscape in Tokyo, FC Tokyo are the primary team these days. They're the biggest team in the city. They get the most fans. They've got the biggest supporter base these days. Their cross-city rivals, Tokyo Verdy, are in J2, and I'm going to come and watch them play on this coming Saturday. So I'll do a video for that game as well, where I'll talk about them more. But basically, Tokyo Verdy used to be a bigger team. They were one of the first team. They were one of the founding members of the J.League. They won the first 2 editions of the J.League. But back then they were known as the Yomiuri Verdy, and they were Verdy Kawasaki for a time. They moved from Kawasaki to Tokyo, and these days, yeah, not in such good shape compared to how they were in the past. So FC Tokyo really are the strongest team in the capital at the moment, the best supported team, and yeah, strongest on the pitch at the moment. Pretty good in J1, second last year, doing well again this year. So yeah, it's a 2-team city basically. And also there's another team, Machida Zelvia, who are also just about in Tokyo. They also play in J2. So there were 3 J-League teams in Tokyo. FC Tokyo the biggest. Then you got the 2 teams in J2, Tokyo Verdy and Machida Zelvia. mentioned earlier on that FC Tokyo play or sing "You'll Never Walk Alone" before every game. So if you're a Liverpool fan or a Celtic fan looking for a Japanese team, FC Tokyo could be your team. Yeah. But as for the match, pretty cagey, 1-0, very close. Surprisingly, both teams are playing pretty strong lineups, which is unusual in this competition, especially when you consider this season that there are so many games to fit into a shorter season. Usually it's a competition that managers could leave or take or leave even. So I don't think either manager will be too upset to get knocked out, but if you think about it, you're only, what, 3 games from the final if you win this. So yeah, it's worth going for, I guess, if you feel like you've got the squad to do it. But yeah, let's see what happens in the second half. My prediction is on, so it could be 2-0 to FC Tokyo. Let's see what happens. Full-time, FC Tokyo 3, Nagoya Grampus 0, very professional job in the end. Absolute biblical downpour. The rain was coming down something in that second half, but FC Tokyo get the job done, and they will play Kawasaki Frontale in the semi-final. Frontale beat Distal Corby 6-0 tonight in the other quarter-final, so that's going to be a really good matchup in the semis. As for the atmosphere tonight, of course, it's very subdued at the moment because of the coronavirus situation. I like the pre-match lighting and music. I thought that was really cool to build up the kind of atmosphere. But yeah, I would love to come back when it's not in a pandemic to see what it's like when it's nearly full. But it is what it is, and yeah. But thank you very much for watching, as always. Please let me know what you think or what you thought of this game and the stadium. Obviously it's a huge stadium, and there are only 3,500 here tonight, but I still think the atmosphere was pretty good. But yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll be back here again on Saturday for Tokyo Verdy, so we can compare the experience. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing for more videos like this. So thank you very much, and see you next time.